quote, BS. Also said a couple of other expletives, but he says that he stands by his comments, saying, quote, the narrative the administration was pushing in the immediacy following the shooting was garbage. I stand by every one of those.
Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Fox 32's Good Day Chicago.
Right now on Good Day, we are tracking snow shows for the Chicago area. Mark Strell will have the latest on the forecast in just a bit. And family and friends continue to search for a Chicago public school teacher who has been missing for multiple days. And it is win or go home as the Bears take on the Packers in a wild card matchup at Soldier Field. Good morning. Saturday, January 10th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jake Hamilton. As always, more importantly, this is Mark Strell, meteorologist Mark Strell, my man.
There is no ranking here.
No, there's not.
We're all equals here in the eye of the camera lens.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Except I need to boost my chair up a little bit because you're significantly taller than I am. I think the big question in regards to weather today is what impact it's going to have, if any, on the game. I know some people were kind of hoping for a little bit of a snowy, snowy matchup.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be very epic, you know?
Now, I got to tell you, there is a chance of a snow shower during the game tonight.
Okay.
Not a real big chance.
Sure.
And I think the real story will be, really kind of blustery conditions, windy conditions, and it's going to be a little bit raw today.
Enough wind for Caleb Williams to take notice and maybe account for?
You know, we're talking about 15 to 30 mile per hour gusts. And they're coming from west to east, so from sideline to sideline.
Sure.
So, it might be a little hard to hit the uprights at times. I've got a little kaleidoscope of color here for you. Some fractals of light as we look back towards the city. And you can see the rainfall has moved in. We may have some snowfall in your neighborhood as well. Just a beautiful shot and not so beautiful weather here this morning. This is a look at Live Power Doppler weather radar. And you can see a little pocket of some heavier showers sliding through the city right now. And on the backside, we get more into a wintry mix. That's the pink. The snow is in blue here this morning. I think this all marches through here the early part of the day. I think most of the afternoon should be fairly quiet, with another chance of a few snow showers as we go into the evening hours around game time. So a smaller chance of seeing snow showers at that point. Forecast high temperatures today. Well, this tells you that, even if we do see some snow, it's not really going to stick around much. Daytime highs today around 35 at O'Hare, 37 at Midway, upper 30s through the south suburbs. It's going to be at and above freezing for virtually the entire day. Now, as we get towards game time, those temperatures pretty close to the freezing mark, so we have a trend more towards some snow showers. But you can see some rainfall this morning. And again, colder temperatures to our north and to our northwest with that changeover to snow and some ice mixture. So the Bears forecast tonight, mostly cloudy skies. There is a chance of a few snow showers, probably nothing too intense, but we're starting out just above freezing, sliding through the freezing mark and going down to just below freezing. So it'll be a windy and kind of a raw evening at Soldier Field, so be prepared for a little bit of everything.
Thank you, Mark. We are following breaking news this morning. A man is dead after Chicago police say he was stabbed on CTA property. According to police, it happened by the Clarkin Lake CTA station. When the officers arrived, they found a 37-year-old man unresponsive. He had puncture wounds to his stomach and abdomen. He was taken to a hospital where he later died. No word on what led to that stabbing. As of now, no one is in custody. Family, friends, and search teams have spent days looking for a missing special education teacher. The last time anyone saw Linda Brown, she was by the lakefront. Leslie Marino has the latest on what happens next.
It's been an agonizing week for those who know and love 53-year-old Linda Brown.
We're just trying to find her. We don't know where she is, so this is a good start.
Linda was reported missing on January 3rd. That same day, around 3 a.m., police say she was captured on surveillance parking her vehicle on 35th and South Lake Park Avenue. She was seen walking across this pedestrian bridge. From there, police say canines tracked her scent straight towards the lakefront. On Friday, search crews, along with family and friends, spent the day searching for the beloved special ed teacher.
I knew her, I care about her, and I think people are still holding out hope. I know it doesn't look good. She was very well respected as a teacher. I know how much in love her and her husband were with each other.
Family says Linda has dealt with mental health challenges but has never disappeared before. Her husband urging the public to focus on helping, not speculating.
Just trying to make it. That's all. We got family support, friend support. They've been texting me, helping me. So I'm getting the support I need from friends and family. So I'm just hanging in there trying to find my wife.
While Friday's search came up empty, the family says the support is carrying them through.
I'm thankful for everyone helping, support to find my wife. It's great. You know, I wish we had more people to cover more ground, but, you know, this is a good start. If you want to come join, please come help.
In Chicago's South Side, Les Marino, Fox Chicago.
The family tells Fox Chicago search efforts will continue this morning. Plenty of reaction in Portland, Oregon as demonstrators hit the streets demanding federal immigration agents to leave the city. This comes after 2 Venezuelan nationals were shot by Border Patrol who say they have a link to foreign terror organization. DHS claims the 2 entered the country illegally and were released under the Biden administration. Both Oregon's governor and Portland's mayor are now calling for an independent investigation into the shooting.
We're calling on ICE to halt all operations in Portland. When the administration talks about using full force, we are seeing what it means on our streets.
Both the Venezuelan nationals survived the shooting. A day before the shooting in Portland, a woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. Asher Red has the latest on why federal and state officers are at odds over how to move forward with the investigation.
Fox has obtained the cell phone video by the officer who shot Renee Nicole Good. This as protests continued coast to coast Friday, 2 days after the deadly shooting.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
The 37-year-old mother was killed by an ICE officer shortly after dropping her 6-year-old off at school, sparking outrage nationwide.
That violent act did not happen in a vacuum. It happened in a political moment where ICE has been emboldened, shielded from accountability, and unleashed on our communities with impunity.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey pleading for the ongoing investigation to be transparent after the Trump administration denied state and local officials access to the probe.
This is not a time to hide from the facts. This is a time to embrace them.
This as the Department of Homeland Security announced ICE agents have seen an unprecedented increase in vehicular attacks, up a whopping 3,200% over the past year. The Trump administration pointing to the numbers as evidence the ICE agent was acting in self-defense.
If you're that agent, you're at the hood of that car, you don't know who's inside, you don't know what their intentions are, you know that other ICE agents have been rammed or attempted to be rammed before, you did the only thing you can do in that situation. So again, the result was awful, but it was certainly legal.
And although the FBI is leading this investigation, Minneapolis officials are encouraging the public to turn over any evidence that may be relevant, particularly videos. In Minneapolis, Asher Red, Fox News.
Illinois is suing the Trump administration so it can get access to $1 billion in federal child care funding that is currently being blocked by the administration. Illinois joins California, Colorado, Minnesota, and New York in the lawsuit. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced it would freeze funding in those states over alleged concerns about fraud and misuse of the money. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin claims the Trump administration is retaliating against Democratic-led states and that tens of thousands of low-income families in the state will suffer.
Is there evidence of fraud? No. But there is evidence of the fact that in the last presidential election, our state did not vote for this president, but voted for another candidate. And so now President Trump has said the children must pay the price.
The Trump administration responded to the lawsuit, claiming it's a partisan political stunt. The College of DuPage lands a $4 million boost from the federal government. The money comes from the Department of Education. The school plans to use the funding to supercharge their drone programs with new classes, upgraded gear, and more opportunities for hands-on learning. The school has about 26,000 students. Coming up, it was not a disgraced rock star who trashed a music store. It was, and I'm not kidding, a monkey. How a jam session turned into total chaos, the bizarre break-in you're going to want to see when we come back.
Hey, you wanted me to look at
Welcome back. 7:12. President Donald Trump is encouraging oil companies to go into Venezuela and drill as much oil as possible. This comes after the U.S. captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Fox News has more.
Less than a week after the military raid that captured former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, the White House is already looking to secure $100 billion of corporate investment in the South American country. President Trump welcoming oil executives to the White House.
American companies will have the opportunity to rebuild Venezuela's rotting energy infrastructure and eventually increase oil production to levels never, ever seen before.
Venezuela has the largest crude oil reserves of any country in the world. The president has announced his intention to tap into that and hopes to reassure companies who've previously been burned in a country known for seizing their assets and even imprisoning their executives.
Within a political environment running by criminals, there's no possibility nor feasibility to conduct business in a healthy way.
You have total safety, total security. You're dealing with us directly. You're not dealing with Venezuela at all.
Climate advocates say Venezuela's oil infrastructure is in steep decline and that boosting production creates serious environmental concerns.
The pipes are old and rusting. The storage facilities are dilapidated. The carbon intensity in Venezuelan crude is significantly higher than virtually everywhere in the world.
The meeting came hours after the Navy and Marines carried out a joint operation to seize another tanker linked to Venezuelan oil. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the vessel was part of a ghost fleet suspected of carrying embargoed oil. It's the fifth tanker the U.S. has seized over the last month. Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
Now to a consumer alert. Thousands of wireless chargers sold by TJ Maxx and Marshall are being recalled because they might explode. Consumer safety regulators say more than 13,000 Isla Ray wireless cell phone chargers were sold in the U.S., while another 7,000 were sold in Canada. The chargers attach magnetically to the back of cell phones for wireless charging. Safety regulators say some units could explode while in use. Anyone who's bought one of these chargers should stop using them and take them to a hazardous waste collection center to get rid of them. Mark Strell, dare I say...
Exploding could be a bad thing.
You know what? Yes, very much so. Though it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get rid of this for a little bit. We've been spoiled these past few days. Oh, my goodness. You know, the light jacket's been just fine for walking around downtown.
It has been perfect. And, you know, Jake, yesterday we had a high temperature of 60 degrees.
Come on. And I know, because listening to you, that was at the beginning of the day. Yeah. That was, you know, but still, you're right. It counts, man. It counts.
Well, especially
in January?
Most of the day was spent in the 40s. The 60-degree reading came just after midnight. Now, a completely different set going on here today. You can see from the Hancock Center, we've got a little bit of snowflake activity kind of floating around, kind of coming up, lifting up the building here. I think at the surface, though, you're going to find mostly rain, and we're finding mostly surface reports of rainfall at this hour. Temperatures today, right now, 38 degrees at both of the airports, 37 degrees at the lakefront, 33 up the lake at Waukegan, 35 at Woodstock, 32 now in DeKalb. So we're not really going to have really temperatures that are conducive of having snow stick around today. So I think this is mostly going to be kind of a wet, sloppy rain event with a little bit of slushy snow at the very end here. And at the very end, I mean later on, because here we are in the rain, a little bit of ice mixture out through the Fox Valley, trending back up towards around McHenry County. That snow goes all the way north to Lake Superior and all the way down towards Missouri. But again, not a big snow event for us. This goes through. Futurecast shows that a little spiral of snow then could pop in as we go through the evening hours and with an isolated snow shower. And that's why I'm going to keep at least a small chance of a snow shower for the football game this evening. Winds right now are pretty light, the exception being Aurora. We're marking 22-mile-per-hour winds, and we're going to see these winds tick up steadily as we go throughout the rest of the morning into the afternoon. Winds today gusting at times up to 25 and even 30 miles per hour. So a blustery day. Even though those temperatures are going to be well above average by a couple of degrees anyway, we will have that kind of raw element to today. So temperatures up into the 30s, some rain and snow, chance of snow as we go through the late morning into the early afternoon, or at least the noon hour. I think we're going to dry out for a good portion of the day this afternoon. And then here we go again this evening. Temperatures back down to around 32 degrees with, again, another chance of a snow shower or two. Jake, I think a snow shower might make tonight's game kind of fun.
You know, we were talking in the newsroom earlier this morning before the show started about whether or not you think like Ben Johnson is awake right now looking at the weather and looking at, like, there's a very good chance he's listening to your forecast.
Oh, yeah.
And adjusting maybe some potential play calls.
You think so?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very important.
They're looking at everything, right?
Exactly right. You have
everything across the board.
Speaking of everything across the board, take a look at this. Tennessee police and animal control officials recently had their hands full trying to catch a loose monkey. Take a look at this guy just chilling by the guitar stand. Someone stole the animal named Chester from a farm, but he escaped and snuck into this music store, and he left his mark, destroying guitars and trashing the place. The monkey was on the run for most of the day before a local man found the little guy. He fed the monkey until it could be caught and taken away safely.
So this little monkey lives at a farm.
Sure.
Someone came and stole the monkey.
guy, yeah.
And then the monkey ran away from the evil man that stole him, trying to get back to his original owner, but then broke into a music store and
tell me this isn't a Disney movie waiting to happen.
At the very least, it's a curious.
Now, it's got to divert, because I think what's got to happen is you got to walk into the music store and discover that the monkey is secretly good at playing guitar. And
yeah,
you go,
comes up with a couple good chords or something.
It's like Air Bud, but instead of a dog playing basketball, it's a monkey playing the guitar. I'm telling you, it's a $1 billion franchise, Mark Strell.
We've just given you an idea out there, yeah. All you need is a man with a big yellow hat.
Exactly right. Well done. Well done. Good pop culture.
And in Georgia is now in custody after a string of alleged car robberies. Well, you know, here's the thing. I don't think they're alleged car robberies. I think the cars got robbed. The man may or may not have done it, but wait till you hear the rest of the story. So this guy was out wearing a tablecloth. After finding this guy in an abandoned stolen vehicle, officers also received multiple calls of a nearly naked man wandering the neighborhood, attempting to break into more multiples of cars. The bandit then fled the scene in another stolen car, wearing a tablecloth, before being caught by police in a tablecloth. He is now facing a slew of charges. And I think the fashion police are also
There's so much more to this story that I feel like we don't know. Like, I really want to hear the events leading up to.
Right. Did this story start like in a diner
Exactly,
somewhere?
yeah. There's a whole chunk of the story that maybe by next Saturday we'll have the updated version of it.
Like his girlfriend kicked him out of the house and said,
there's
"Get out of
something there.
here."
The guy didn't just wake up and put a tablecloth on. Like, there's a reason that he got to that point.
And that's the interesting part of the story.
It's like, have you ever seen those stories where, like, it starts out really weird and you hear the record scratch and you go, you probably wonder how I got here. And then you got to go back to the beginning. That's where we're at. We're at the record scratch part right now.
We've just given you ideas for two screenplays right here.
There you go. Exactly. Get to writing.
Stick with us.
All right. So there is a New York City bakery going viral for its colossal cannoli. Check this thing out. It is a giant pastry shell stuffed with dozens of smaller cannolis. They even pour more cream on it. Weighs a whopping 5 pounds. You know, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not a big sweets guy. I don't love chocolate.
That's because you're already sweet.
Oh, keep going.
That's what your girlfriend
You're only saying
says,
it because
right?
it's true.
Yeah.
I do love a cannoli, though, and particularly in the city of Chicago.
Really?
I feel like we've got, dude, I've had some cannolis, around, I've globe hopped, but I've had some of the best around here.
So, but is this really the world's largest cannoli if it's simply little cannolis wrapped in a big cannoli?
Is it one big job? I mean, you gotta wrap it with something.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, you go ahead and make the big cannoli.
Just make the one big giant.
The one big one. It's like a turducken, right?
Which I've never had.
No, wait, come on.
I've never done the turducken.
I can't believe that. All right, that's a turkey and a duck and a
chicken.
Chicken, yeah. Thank you. I've never had one either. Well, Lego is unveiling an upgrade to its classic building blocks. The Smart Play bricks look like regular Lego pieces, but have a built-in AI chip. I told you AI was going to take over everything, including your kids' toys. Well, the chips let the bricks interact. The chips, they interact with each other. The blocks are talking to each other, Jake. The kids' building blocks are talking to you. It's only a matter of time. It's going to take over the world. They make sounds when they get next to other blocks. The high-tech bricks launch in March, debuting a new Star Wars building set. All right, a long time ago when I got one of my first early computers, we had these WAV files, which you could put sounds in your computer. And so one day I loaded a bunch of movie clips. And so one night I'm working about 2 o'clock in the morning and I hit the wrong key, and Darth Vader tells me that I am part of a rebel alliance and I must be destroyed. And that's when I decided I'm turning my computer off and going to bed.
Part of a rebel alliance and a traitor.
Yes.
I did this all day, man.
I did not know I was, but Darth
That's
Vader.
when it's time to go. At a certain point,
time to go.
You know, blocks, see, it's funny, growing up, I never had like a Lego set. I had a bag of blocks. There you go. But, it's just blocks. You know,
Build something.
we didn't get the Lego. Yeah, it was basically.
You used your imagination.
Sure. And you know what? It was perfectly fine that those blocks didn't talk to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of scares me that the kids building blocks.
I don't understand what they need to talk to each other for.
Talking.
Anyway. This is pretty cool, actually. You're going to like this. Coming up, one of the greatest films ever made, and the 2-time Oscar-winning star only sat down with one station in Chicago to look back on it 35 years later. We're going to chat with acting legend Jodie Foster as she celebrates the 35th anniversary of that film right there, Silence of the Lambs, when we come back.
Can't believe it's been 35 years.
You're watching the
You use Evian skin cream. And sometimes you wear Lait de Temps. But not today.
It is one of the most iconic movie moments in cinema history. And now Jodie Foster only sat down with one station in Chicago to look back on her most famous role. It's crazy to believe almost 35 years ago, a little film called The Silence of the Lambs opened in theaters. It would go on to win 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Oscars for its lead actors Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster. It is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And when I recently had the chance to sit down with Jodie Foster, I used the opportunity to look back on one of the film's most iconic scenes. Jodie told me all about her first day working on set with Hannibal himself, Anthony Hopkins, and how the mind games played in that iconic movie moment were played behind the scenes as well.
Good morning. Dr. Lecter, my name is Clarice Starling.
I'd love to ask you about the days spent shooting the scene where Clarice Starling meets Dr. Lecter for the first time in his cell. I just think it's some of the greatest filmmaking of all time. It's 2 of my all-time great performances. And I just love to know what you remember about the days shooting that sequence when Clarice first met Hannibal.
Right. Well, it is the first time that I worked with Anthony Hopkins on that day. And he was screwed into his little compartment in his prison cell because Christy Zia, the wonderful production designer, had organized this sort of subterranean look. It was all on stage. It was this subterranean look, and she really wanted these glass. She wanted it all to be in glass, which meant that there were steel rivets that kept him in his prison cell, so he couldn't leave.
The census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
And we shot all of his stuff on one day because the scenes were so long. We shot all of my stuff on the next day. And because they did this kind of like to camera point of view where the characters were looking at the camera, I never really saw him because I was behind the camera and the dolly when he was doing his stuff. And it was the opposite when I was doing mine. So it was this very weird thing of looking down the lens when he was talking to me and I could hear his voice. But what I saw in the lens was just a camera. So all of those scenes, interestingly, were 2 people talking to cameras separately.
And that accent you've tried so desperately to shed, pure West Virginia. What does your father do? Is he a coal miner? Does he stink of the land?
Is it true that Hannibal mocking Clarice's accent, was that ad-libbed on his part, or was all that just so good in the script that we assume it was ad-libbed?
No, that was a total improvisation on his part. I didn't see it coming, and I think you can really see the pain in my face when the other actor is making fun of my accent, and it was just a wonderful moment. I think that really resonates in the movie, that he wants to hurt her in order to dominate her.
You see a lot, Doctor. But are you strong enough to point that high-powered perception at yourself?
And once she agrees to be open and to say, wow, you really see a lot, then he's able to say, okay, now we can have a conversation. It's a very complicated relationship, a beautiful one, between somebody who is perceived as a monster and somebody who's perceived as the hero.
That expires in 1 week. You're not real FBI, are you? I'm still in training at the academy. Jack Crawford sent a trainee to me.
Jodie Foster can be seen next on the big screen in her new thriller, A Private Life, later this month. Coming up, you might have heard, there's a pretty big game going on today. We're going to tell you everything you need to know about today's epic playoff matchup between the Packers and your Chicago Bears.
You're watching the
It is the oldest rivalry in pro football since 1921. It escalated a year ago when new Bears head coach Ben Johnson took a shot at Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, saying he likes to beat him twice a year. Tonight, for only the third time ever, the Bears take on the Packers in the playoffs. Here's what the Bears are saying about the wild card matchup.
This was the vision from the beginning, was to have some home playoff games. Was really excited about that opportunity and to see that come to light here this year.
Usually packing the cars up, sending everything back home to home base and getting ready for the offseason. So it feels good preparing for the postseason right now.
We had a really good season, division wins, all that other stuff, but everything is 0-0 now. We're mentally prepared to play for 5 more weeks.
We're not prepared to play the next 5 weeks. We're thinking about anything else, thinking about booking a flight, vacations or anything. Don't come in.
Going into this game and after this game, every player should be not only physically exhausted, but mentally exhausted as well.
I think I am built for these moments.
We'll go all out for this game.
All the big games the same to me. I think the mindset of it just changes a little bit because you know you don't have another game. If you go out there and you don't accomplish the goal.
We don't have anything to hold back. You know what I mean? We don't have a guarantee next week. It's really do or die.
They always chirping. It's always some talking going on somewhere somehow. You love football. If you got any competitive bone in your body, you love playing these type of games. The fans make it better though.
It's going to be a special atmosphere, and it almost feels like we've played these guys like 5 or 6 times here in the past month, but I think that'll just make the atmosphere and the battle that much more epic.
This city, it deserves a winner. It deserves a team that's going to be able to make this run.
I think Chicago is just a city that's deeply rooted in history, which is awesome. It's what makes it such a special place. But that being said, we want to build our own history here.
We're all looking forward to this playoff game and trying to do what we can to try to make this city proud. You really have felt this city come alive over the course of the season. That's something that I'm grateful for. So keep a good thing going.
Keep that thing going. You can watch the Packers and Bears tonight, 7 p.m. right here on Fox Chicago. Our coverage begins with Bears Game Day Live at 12:30. Stay with us on Fox Chicago because after the game, after the win, we've got your full post-game coverage on your home of the Bears. Now, since the Bears are playing today, we figured, hey, let's do a mega poll question. We want to hear from Bears fans. How many passing TDs will Caleb have against the Packers? Just scan the QR code you see on your screen or visit fox32chicago.com. Give us your answer. You can also use the Fox Local app. We're going to show you the results during our 8 o'clock hour. Mark Strell, how you feeling, man?
Yeah.
We've got our producer Gabe.
Yep.
Who is as big of a diehard Bears fan as I think I've ever met, and he's in the booth right now. And I asked him in the newsroom, "How are you feeling?" And he used the word I've heard a lot of Bears fans using, nervous.
I've heard that from half a dozen people.
Yeah.
Confident but nervous.
Which is a good place to be.
Optimistic but nervous.
Yeah, it's playoffs.
Yeah. Well, especially against the Packers.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a great game. There could be a snow shower or two, but only a chance of that. Mostly we're going to see windy and a little bit raw conditions today. Let's take you through the day. We have some rainfall this morning along with some snowfall. Just checking in with our friend Mike Kaplan up the lake, up in Lake County, where there's some snow coming down in the backyard there. Most of us experiencing some rainfall this morning, but I think we eventually kick over to some snow, and I think we'll see a little bit of wet, sloppy snowfall around the early part of the day. But temperatures will largely be above the freezing point as we go through midday and into the afternoon. By this evening, those temperatures sliding right through the freezing point, right around kickoff time, right around first and second quarters. So we drop from a degree or two above freezing to a degree or two below freezing, which could make things interesting. And then tonight we're back down into the 20s. Tomorrow we'll start out with cloud cover, but end up with a little sunshine during the afternoon. And still breezy tomorrow. Still some winds that could kick up to 20, 25, even 30 miles per hour. And then tomorrow night we're back down into the 20s. We warm up after that. Look at these numbers for Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures in the mid-40s on Monday once again. And then upper 40s. We could tag 50 degrees again on Tuesday. After that, we fall back a little more normal range coming out for much of the rest of the week. And then we won't even look beyond that. We're talking about temperatures that really we're going to stay for the rest of the week pretty close to average. Here's a look at Futurecast. Here we have some rainfall coming through along with some snowfall. And you can see it kind of is diagonal from northeast to southwest. So Lake County seeing a little more snowfall, and then that trends back to the southwest towards DeKalb and into LaSalle County. Kane County, you probably are seeing a little bit of light snowfall this morning as well. It all kicks through, though. This is 11:15. By 1, 2 o'clock, we dry out. I think most of the afternoon stays dry. We'll have those temperatures above the freezing point. And then as we go through the evening, look at this, 6:45. Here comes a couple of little snow showers jetting across the area. So not a big chance of snowfall during the game tonight. But what I'm saying is there's a chance.
Always a chance. Taking a look at what else is on tap for sports today before the Bears-Packers game. We're going to have the Rams taking on the Panthers at 3:30. Blackhawks are in Nashville playing against the Predators. Puck drops at around 7 p.m. And the Bulls host the Dallas Mavericks at the UC. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. Bears fans come together to celebrate head coach Ben Johnson by participating in a look-alike contest. Photojournalist Jacob Karb stepped out to check it out.
Such a fun, family-friendly event at the Wintrust Sports Complex in Bedford Park, our Coach Johnson Look-alike Contest. It's a free event, wonderful prizes, so much excitement surrounding our favorite football team in town. We want to do something really community-oriented, fun, family-friendly, and see who can get the most creative with their Coach Johnson look-alike for the good, better, and best prizes. Going to a game, it's really not attainable for most people these days with the prices, especially with the economy. So we wanted to see what we could do to help with that. So the winners, they could put it towards the game and create a memory that'll last a lifetime. And when you think about it, people are still dressing like Coach Ditka all these years later. So I'm thinking, all right, we're still doing that, and now we have Coach Johnson. And once Coach Johnson ripped his shirt off in the locker room in Philly on Black Friday, forget it. It was fantastic. Everyone had so much fun with that, and we were hopeful that the community would react to it. We greenlit the whole promotion 3 to 4 weeks, and here we are today.
Well done. The winner of the contest took home a $1,000 gift card. Coming up, it just recently won the Emmy for Best Drama Series, and now it's back for a second season. We're going to talk with Emmy-winning actor Noah Wyle all about The Pit and how doctors have been responding to the popular medical series when we come back.
Ends it at work. I'm attorney Chris.
this your last shift?
For a while, yeah.
Maybe he's trying to outrun some old ghosts.
It's going to be a lot of time to self-reflect. Sure you can handle that?
The hit Emmy Award-winning medical series The Pitt is back for a new season. I had the chance to sit down with the show's star, who of course knows a thing or two about medical dramas.
I always love the stories of like James Gandolfini used to talk about hearing from like real wise guys when he was filming The Sopranos, and Martin Sheen said he used to hear about from real politicians when he was on West Wing. I'm sure, 1,000 doctors and medical professionals have come up to you over the years and said, you know what, actually, but I'd just love to know over your time playing, someone in the medical field, what is the most interesting note that you've gotten from a real life person who really knows what they're talking about?
Oh, it ranges. Sometimes you get compliments and sometimes you get criticisms. Sometimes you get that would never happen, or you get you know what you should do on your show. I got a story for you. But the most rewarding are the ones where you meet somebody and they just feel sort of seen. They feel represented, and not just with the procedures and the medical knowledge, but they feel represented emotionally, that you're somehow depicting what their emotional and physical reality is. And that's very gratifying. And this show has really been incredible in that regard. The medical community has really embraced this show in particular. And we've gotten a high degree of praise for our authenticity, which is really gratifying because that was the exercise.
Coming up, a Chicago band taking the stage for a good cause. We're going to tell you all about the Rock the Hunger charity concert happening in St. Charles. You don't want to miss it when Good Day Chicago returns.
You're watching the Home of the Bears!
This is very cool. Next Sunday, a Chicago-based band will take the stage for the first ever concert at the Arcada
Yes.
Theater in St. Charles. The concert helps support a great cause. Joining us to talk more about it, the founder of the Generations, Rob Steppen. Rob, my man, good to see you, dude.
Good to see you.
First of all, for people who are maybe not familiar with the Generations, we got everything here. We got the band swag, we got the vinyl, we got the guitar, you got the shirt. Tell us a little bit about who the Generations are.
Yeah, the Generations were started back in '23, and it was started by my iconic producer, Steve Albini. Now, Steve has been in the, was in the music world by producing people like Nirvana, Foo Fighters, Cheap Trick, Page and Plant from Zeppelin. And when we were in the recording studio, it was just a magical moment. And Steve said to me, why don't you get like a 2023 version? Because these tapes were from 1985.
Sure.
And he restored them and he digitized them. And so he suggested that I get this band together, and that's the formation of the Generations. And I'll tell you something about the Generations. We have world-class musicians in this group. We have expanded from a 6-piece to an 8-piece. We added 2 new musicians, and they are badass.
I love that, man. But you know what's even cooler about the Generations is you guys have sort of taken music and also turned it into a mission. You realize that, that we've got a talent and we've got a skill, but we can do something with it. I'd love to know, do you remember sort of that moment where you thought, it's not, I don't want to say it's not enough. It's not enough to just play music. There's got to be something that comes out of this.
And you hit it right on the head, Jake, because this is a tool to use to help people that are less fortunate. So at the Arcada, as you mentioned, we are raising donations for the Community Foundation of the Fox River Valley. And they actually raise donations for food insecurity. Imagine this, people don't know where their next meal is going to come from. And what they do is really powerful and impactful, and they actually make sure that those people not only have a full-plated meal, but have the peace of mind in the future to actually don't worry about where your next meal is going to come from.
An incredibly worthy call. So tell people about this show that's happening.
Sure.
And where they can come out, where they can support you guys, and not just have a great show, but know that they're doing something great while they're there.
Absolutely. So what they can do is they can go on robsteppenmusic.com, STEPEN, or oshows.com. That's the Arcada website, and they can purchase their tickets. I do have something special. From the Arcada, Dana gave me she knew I was coming on Fox.
Fantastic.
And she said, here is a discount code for 25% off of the purchase. Just type in Fox 25. Not Fox 32, Fox 25, and you will get a 25% off discount.
That's fantastic.
And this is an iconic theater that's 100 years old. Ron Onesti does a great job of getting fabulous bands, and we're just so honored and privileged to be playing there.
And when is it happening?
This is happening January 18th.
Love that.
Doors open at 4. The show starts at 5 at the Arcada.
Now, it's not for me to ever make any kind of a segment about myself, but that does just so happen to be my birthday. So that does feel like a great way to if I could dedicate my birthday to giving back to such a worthy cause like that, how great would that be?
Absolutely.
I want to swing back around to the Generations, because for people that are just looking for good, obviously the cause worthy, the venue is fantastic. We love everyone out in St. Charles. Tell people like just the vibes, the music that you guys are going to be putting on.
It's an incredible set. It's highly energetic. We do things from the 70s and 80s, classic rock. We sprinkle in a little bit of 60s and 90s.
Love it.
We have multiple songs that are brand new to the set, so people who have seen us in the past are going to be really engaged to see this new set, and the new players in the band.
Now, for maybe someone can't come out on the 18th, but they're thinking, God, what a cause, what a band, would love to hear them, would love to help out with this cause. Is there a place that they can go if maybe they can't make it out that night?
Yeah, if they go to my website, robsteppenmusic.com, they can see the other shows. We are going to be playing on March 6th at the Epiphany Center of the Arts.
Fantastic.
And so we're going to be raising money for Thresholds, another near and dear charity to my heart, focusing on mental illness. And that's where the hub is. You can go on the website. Others can go on the website just to see where we are and see where the next show is going to be, as well as the the next charity. I will say this. I work for an incredible company called Insperity. We are a professional human resources company. And for every show and every donation, Insperity matches dollar for dollar.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So
Love
for
that.
all these charities, it's a worthwhile cause.
It's like that old Jack Lemmon quote. He says, when you reach the top, you got to know when to send the elevator back down. And
There you go.
I think you guys
I hope you can come out to one of our shows.
I would love to,
I'll
man.
tell you what. You said you were going to get a turntable, right?
Yes,
Right.
we have one.
Oh, you have the
Yes.
turntable.
Yes.
So I'm going to sign this album
Come
for you.
on.
And I hope that you put it on today.
I will. I
Okay?
absolutely will. Rob, congratulations, man.
Thanks,
have a wonderful
Jake.
show. Thank
Great
you for what
seeing
you're doing. We appreciate it. Generations. You're going to want to see the show out St. Charles, January 18th. Congratulations, man.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
guys,
much.
don't go anywhere. Mark Stroll, have another check of the weather forecast when we come back. I'm not giving this away. Thank you.
That's yours.
Ever wonder why your house is so
Welcome back, 7:57. Mark Strell, I just received a text from my girlfriend that she was not able to take the dogs out this morning because it's raining outside.
It is raining and or snowing. depending on your location.
So there are a lot of dogs that aren't going outside this morning.
I hope they go somewhere and, not inside. 35, the high temperature today. Will dry out for the afternoon, but a chance of snow showers this evening just in time to play a little football.
It'll just enough to make the game just a little.
There is a
more
chance. I don't think it's a big chance, but there's a chance of a few snow showers tonight.
All right. Well, and you also mentioned the wind, which honestly I'm a little bit more concerned about that than.
And that it will be the bigger thing. 15, maybe 25, 30 mile per hour wind gust from sideline to sideline. So it makes it a little harder to, put it through the uprights.
Stick around. We have more news and weather coming up at 8. We'll be right back.
My love.
from Michigan Avenue, this is Fox 32's Good Day Chicago.
Right now on Good Day, tracking a little snow, a little rain for the Chicago area. Mark Strell, the very handsome Mark Strell, will have the latest on the forecast in just a bit. Also, family and friends continue to search for a Chicago public school teacher who's now been missing for multiple days. And it is win or go home as the Bears take on the Packers in a wild card matchup at Soldier Field. Good morning. Saturday, January 10th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jake Hamilton. That's Mark Strell. All eyes on what the weather is going to be at 7 o'clock tonight.
Some snow shows are possible.
Snow shows.
Yeah. You know, I heard
our
you
new
say
favorite
that.
expression.
I heard you say that at 7 o'clock at the beginning of the show, and I didn't realize until 30 seconds ago that that's not a real thing.
It's not. You know, it was in the script, and I thought, is this cool new expression that the kids are saying?
Right.
It's a snow show, and I learned it was actually a misprint in the script. It was meant to say snow shower, but I like snow show.
I like the way you coin phrases
little snow
around
show
here.
going on.
You know, that kind of describes the Bears game tonight. So there's a chance we could have a snow shower. But when you get there and it doesn't happen, it's a snow show.
Snow show. One might call it a snow show.
Yeah.
Trademark, Fox 32.
One might.
Yeah, one might.
Well, this morning we have some rain show, and I don't even know where to go from there. But we've got a little combination, a little mix of both, depending on your location, depending on your zip code. Temperatures right now, they are 32 degrees in Waukegan, but a warm 38 degrees on the southwest side, 37 degrees in Kankakee this hour. And right now, Rensselaer, 37 degrees. So you can see where snow is possible and where it is very much unlikely. Let's take you through Futurecast, at least for the moment, because this whole system will swing through with some rainfall and snow, or at least a little wintry mix on the backside of this. This is 11 o'clock this morning, and you can see everything pushes out. I think we're going to quiet down. We're going to dry out for a good portion of the afternoon. Sunshine, yeah, I think we're going to be mostly cloudy today, but a Futurecast does show us drying out. And then as we go towards the evening hours, there you see just a couple of dots and dashes from some snow showers that will rotate through Chicago as we go through the evening. So there is a possibility we could have some snow showers during the game tonight. Not a big possibility, but what I'm saying is there's a chance. Cloudy skies otherwise. This is tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. Cloudy skies giving way to sunshine tomorrow with temperatures, again, back up into the middle 30s and then warm Monday, Tuesday. I'll tell you more about that in a moment.
Thank you, Mark. We are following breaking news this morning. A man is dead after Chicago police say he was stabbed on CTA property. According to police, it happened by the Clark and Lake CTA station. When officers arrived, they found a 37-year-old man unresponsive. He had puncture wounds to his stomach and abdomen. He was taken to a hospital where he later died. No word on what led to the stabbing. As of now, no one is in custody. Family, friends, and search teams have spent days looking for a missing special education teacher. The last time anyone saw Linda Brown, she was by the lakefront. Leslie Marino has the latest on what happens next.
It's been an agonizing week for those who know and love 53-year-old Linda Brown.
We're just trying to find her. We don't know where she is, so this is a good start.
Linda was reported missing on January 3rd. That same day, around 3 a.m., police say she was captured on surveillance parking her vehicle on 35th and South Lake Park Avenue. She was seen walking across this pedestrian bridge. From there, police say canines tracked her scent straight towards the lakefront. On Friday, search crews, along with family and friends, spent the day searching for the beloved special ed teacher.
I knew her, I care about her, and I think people are still holding out hope. I know it doesn't look good. She was very well respected as a teacher. I know how much in love her and her husband were with each other.
Family says Linda has dealt with mental health challenges but has never disappeared before. Her husband urging the public to focus on helping, not speculating.
Just trying to make it. That's all. We got family support, friend support. They've been texting me, helping me. So I'm getting the support I need from friends and family. So I'm just hanging in there trying to find my wife.
While Friday's search came up empty, the family says the support is carrying them through.
I'm thankful for everyone helping, support to find my wife. It's great. You know, I wish we had more people to cover more ground, but, you know, this is a good start. If you want to come join, please come help.
In Chicago's South Side, Les Marino, Fox Chicago.
The family tells Fox Chicago search efforts will continue this morning. Plenty of reaction to Portland, Oregon, as demonstrators hit the streets demanding federal immigration agents to leave the city. This comes after 2 Venezuelan nationals were shot by Border Patrol, who say they have links to a foreign terror organization. DHS claims the 2 entered the country illegally and were released under the Biden administration. Both Oregon's governor and Portland's mayor are now calling for an independent investigation into the shooting.
We are calling on ICE to halt all operations in Portland. When the administration talks about using full force, we are seeing what it means on our streets.
Both the Venezuelan nationals survived the shooting. A day before the shooting in Portland, a woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. Asher Red has the latest on why federal and state officials are at odds over how to move forward with the investigation.
Fox has obtained the cell phone video by the officer who shot Renee Nicole Good. This as protests continued coast to coast Friday, 2 days after the deadly shooting.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
The 37-year-old mother was killed by an ICE officer shortly after dropping her 6-year-old off at school, sparking outrage nationwide.
That violent act did not happen in a vacuum. It happened in a political moment where ICE has been emboldened, shielded from accountability, and unleashed on our communities with impunity.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey pleading for the ongoing investigation to be transparent after the Trump administration denied state and local officials access to the probe.
This is not a time to hide from the facts. This is a time to embrace them.
This as the Department of Homeland Security announced ICE agents have seen an unprecedented increase in vehicular attacks, up a whopping 3,200% over the past year. The Trump administration pointing to the numbers as evidence the ICE agent was acting in self-defense.
If you're that agent, you're at the hood of that car, you don't know who's inside, you don't know what their intentions are, you know that other ICE agents have been rammed or attempted to be rammed before, you did the only thing you can do in that situation. So again, the result was awful, but it was certainly legal.
And although the FBI is leading this investigation, Minneapolis officials are encouraging the public to turn over any evidence that may be relevant, particularly videos. In Minneapolis, Asher Red, Fox News.
Illinois is suing the Trump administration so it can get access to $1 billion in federal child care funding that's currently being blocked by the administration. Illinois joins California, Colorado, Minnesota, and New York. In the lawsuit, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced it would freeze funding in those states over alleged concerns about fraud and misuse of the money. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin claims the Trump administration is retaliating against Democratic-led states and that tens of thousands of low-income families in the state will suffer.
Is there evidence of fraud? No. But there is evidence of the fact that in the last presidential election, our state did not vote for this president, but voted for another candidate. And so now President Trump has said the children must pay the price.
The Trump administration responded to the lawsuit, claiming it's a partisan political stunt. The College of DuPage lands a $4 million boost from the federal government. The money comes from the Department of Education. The school plans to use the funding to supercharge their drone programs with new classes, upgraded gear, and more opportunities for hands-on learning. The school has about 26,000 students. Coming up, a popular horror franchise is back on the big screen, and we're going to talk with its legendary Oscar-nominated star. Actor Ralph Fiennes returns to the show, talk all about the new zombie sequel, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, when Good Day Chicago returns.
You want to know the NFC North? It's a
Welcome back. 8:12. President Trump is encouraging oil companies to go into Venezuela and drill as much oil as possible. This comes after the U.S. captured Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro. Fox News has more.
Less than a week after the military raid that captured former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, the White House is already looking to secure $100 billion of corporate investment in the South American country. President Trump welcoming oil executives to the White House.
American companies will have the opportunity to rebuild Venezuela's rotting energy infrastructure and eventually increase oil production to levels never, ever seen before.
Venezuela has the largest crude oil reserves of any country in the world. The president has announced his intention to tap into that and hopes to reassure companies who've previously been burned in a country known for seizing their assets and even imprisoning their executives.
Within a political environment run by criminals, there's no possibility nor feasibility to conduct business in a healthy way.
You have total safety, total security. You're dealing with us directly. You're not dealing with Venezuela at all.
Climate advocates say Venezuela's oil infrastructure is in steep decline and that boosting production creates serious environmental concerns.
The pipes are old and rusting. The storage facilities are dilapidated. The carbon intensity in Venezuelan crude is significantly higher than virtually everywhere in the world.
The meeting came hours after the Navy and Marines carried out a joint operation to seize another tanker linked to Venezuelan oil. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the vessel was part of a ghost fleet suspected of carrying embargoed oil. It's the fifth tanker the U.S. has seized over the last month. Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
Now to a consumer alert. Thousands of wireless chargers sold by TJ Maxx and Marshalls are being recalled because they might explode. Consumer safety regulators say more than 13,000 Isla Ray wireless cell phone chargers were sold in the U.S., while another 7,000 were sold in Canada. The chargers attach magnetically to the back of cell phones for wireless charging. Safety regulators say some units could explode while in use. Anyone who's bought one of these chargers should stop using them and take them to a hazardous waste collection center to get rid of them. Now, since the Bears are playing today, we figured, hey, let's do a little mega poll question. We want to hear from Bears fans, how many passing touchdowns will Caleb have against the Packers? Scan that QR code you see on your screen. Visit fox32chicago.com to give us your answer. You can also, of course, use that Fox local app. Here's a look at the choices. He'll have at least one touchdown, 2, 3, 4, or more than 4. All right, so right now, Mark, leading the way, 53%, 3 people. I mean, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. That's you know what? That would be a successful day, I think.
Right? I think you're right. Yeah.
I'd be very happy. Because here's the deal. That's just 3 passing touchdowns. That's not to say that there's not a couple of rushing touchdowns, you know, that a couple of pick sixes.
Something like that. Right.
I think that's a good foundation. Getting 3 touchdowns on the board.
I think you're right. You know, and normally I would pick 3. But based on the wind today, I'm going to go with 2.
Okay.
Because it is a little bit, you know, a little bit windy. So I'm going to factor that in.
You know what? That's the only thing that concerns me. I feel like, you know, leading up to today, everyone kept talking about, is it going to snow? Is it going to snow? Is it going to snow?
Yeah.
Get the snow. It's about the wind. The wind is good. It could really make the difference for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, honestly, it's probably a little bit more, you know, it's going to show up a little more in the kicking game.
Sure.
We're talking about winds 15, 20, 25, gust up to 30. And
Sure.
I'm sure we do have a certain amount of protection down in the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
But
and of course, there is the classic, what's the...
yeah, right?
Eddie Gay, it's science, Mark Strell.
It's all about the science.
Yeah.
Well, this morning we're checking out the city, and you can see we have rain here elsewhere from Lake County across parts of northern Kane County back into DeKalb County. There's some snowfall. I'll show you that on radar in a moment. 37 degrees, rain officially at O'Hare. Winds out of the southwest at 7, but those winds will continue to pick up as we go throughout the morning and into the afternoon and into the evening. All wet weather here in the greens and the yellows and the reds, a little mixed precip in the pinks, and then you're looking at some snowfall. We're talking about some light, well, not heavy, not a lot of accumulation, but some slushy snowfall around this morning. So you can't really call slushy snowfall, light, but we're not going to see a lot this morning. And as we go towards the afternoon with temperatures that look like this already, we're going to have a hard time seeing that stick around. Maybe some grassy surfaces. I think the main thoroughfares are going to be in pretty good shape this morning. Be careful, obviously. It will be wet. 38 degrees at the lakefront, 38 degrees at Midway, 37 this hour at O'Hare. But where it's snowing up the lake in Lake County, 32 degrees. 32 degrees now in DeKalb, 34 degrees in Rockford, 36 degrees in LaSalle, Peru, 36 degrees now in Chicago Heights. So we will, all of us, I believe, get up to at or above the freezing point. So the snowfall not going to be around all day long. But later on this evening, during game time, we do have a couple of little lobes, little pockets of snowfall that'll be sliding across Chicago. They'll be much more scattered, not quite as large of a shield of snowfall as this. And so we do have a chance of some snow showers as we go towards the evening. Not a big chance, but I'm saying there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance. Mark Stroh, do you like scary movies?
I'm scared to go to scary movies.
There you go. You're exactly the kind of person I want to see this next movie with. A follow-up to last year's hit horror thriller opens in theaters next week. The zombie film, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, features legendary Oscar-nominated actor Ralph Fiennes. He's one of those actors known for playing so many different types of terrifying monsters over the course of his career. But in these films, he actually plays a kind, gentle, quiet man and is instead kind of surrounded by the monster. So I wanted to talk with him about that word monster and over his career how the definition of that word has changed. I'm fascinated with the concept of this word monster, because you could make the argument in a series about people who are infected, people who are undead, that the true monsters of this film are people who are in fact not infected. I'm sort of curious,
right.
over the years between films like, quite honestly, Schindler's List, Harry Potter, The Menu, In Bruges, how have you sort of come to terms with what the word monster means and how it really can have so many different meanings based on the context of the movie?
The parts that you've listed, if they are considered monstrous, it doesn't help me to think of that going into playing them. I can't judge them. I can't label them as monster or if it's another kind of character, saint. You have to be inside who they are, inside their brain space, how they think, how they react, what is their intention. The chef in The Menu has a sort of obsessive perfectionism that becomes psychopathic, but it's really about how he sees the world, how he seeks to control the world through his cooking. He perhaps doesn't see himself as monstrous. I think he has an attitude towards his clientele which is destructive. He has contempt for his clientele. So yeah, but broadly speaking, Schindler's List, I was obviously asked lots of questions at the time. I said, of course you can read about Armand Goeth and you can say he was a monstrous, obscene, but if you're playing Armand Goeth, you are playing him. You see the world through his eyes. You see, he sees justification in what he's doing. He's got to that point. Whatever you think of it, however much we can say, how disturbing, how obscene, if you're playing that person, whatever they're doing, you don't judge them. Or if you do, you have to ask, how would Armand Goeth judge himself? That's the key, I think. I mean, I think that let the audiences and the critics, whatever, they can write about this monstrous person.
Sorry, you see the energy in his response? That is why he is who he is. It's remarkable. I'm sitting here and I'm part of this, but I'm like, my God, how much am I taking from this? The value. It's incredible. Like, he's an amazing man.
28 years later, Bone Temple opens in theaters next Friday. Coming up, what's the only thing better than a cannoli? How about a really big cannoli? We're going to show you a video of one you might need help finishing when Good Day Chicago returns.
Has your business been
Take a look at this. Tennessee police and animal control officials recently had their hands full trying to catch a loose monkey. Take a look at this guy just chilling by a guitar stand. Someone stole the animal, named Chester, from a farm. But he escaped and snuck into the music store. Definitely left his mark, destroying a couple of guitars, trashing the place. Monkey was on the run for most of the day before a local guy found this little dude. He fed the monkey until it could be caught and taken away safely, we might add. I feel like we say this every couple of weeks because you and I occasionally get to do stories about a random animal that the policemen and women had the opportunity to catch. And I always want to hear that police call and just see the officer who went through so much training and preparation and work to get to that point in his career go, I'm sorry, you want me to do what? You want me to go catch a monkey at a music store? Like,
dispatch, could you repeat again, please?
Could you go, what is the code for monkey with a guitar? There's got to be one.
That's a 10-300 if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, exactly right.
Here's another part of that backstory. There's a guy walking down the street one day, sees a monkey at a farm, and decides, I want to go steal that monkey.
I want that monkey. That one's mine.
What are you thinking?
There are many monkeys, but that one's mine. And I shall name him Chester. Oh, Chester.
That's my monkey.
Hope you're living a good life.
That's my monkey.
Yeah.
Well, a man in Georgia. You know, we have the best stories this morning. A man in Georgia is now in a slammer after a string of car robberies. Not saying that he was the car robber, but, you know, you look at the video, you decide. All while wearing nothing but a tablecloth. That's right, a tablecloth. After finding an abandoned stolen vehicle, officers received many calls of a nearly naked man wandering around the neighborhood. Well, you know, he was wrapped in that tablecloth. Apparently, he was trying to break into other cars. This tablecloth-wrapped bandit then ran away. I got to imagine it's hard to run in a tablecloth. I've never actually done that before.
Freeing.
He was caught. He's freeing, all right. Kind of like a kilt, I suppose.
Exactly.
But more checkered. Before being caught by the police, he was in another stolen vehicle. He's now facing multiple charges, I would hope.
I said this in the last hour, and I'm going to say it again. This is just the end of this story. Where there is a whole story that we are missing that I want to know.
The story before the story.
This is like in those movies where they start at the end, and it makes you wonder, how'd you get there? And you got to go back. You know, and those, 6 weeks earlier, and then we go back. I need to know how he got to that point.
Could you crank out that screenplay?
I'm telling you, it writes itself.
I think we could be green-lighted by next month.
And, everyone loves the crossing over of the universes. Maybe at some point he comes across a monkey named Chester. $1 billion
You've just blown my mind.
The box office.
That's the asset
Who
right
needs
there.
the Avengers?
Yeah.
All right, there's a New York City bakery that's going viral for its colossal cannoli. Check this thing out. It is a giant pastry shell stuffed with dozens of smaller cannolis. Even pour more cream on it. Weighs a whopping 5 pounds. Mark Strell, if you took that thing into a church, you know what it would be?
I do know. I know where you're going. Do you want me to come up with a line?
Go ahead.
A holy cannoli.
Holy cannoli.
I like that. I like where you've done that.
I delivered that joke to my girlfriend yesterday and was met with stony silence.
Silence, yeah.
Silence.
All right.
I even said, you get it, right? Nothing.
Yeah, I see what phase of the
relationship. And she's watching right now. I know she's watching.
I see what phase of the relationship we are in now.
And we're in the what have I signed up for phase.
Yes, we're now met with brutal honesty.
Yeah.
You know, like,
But I knew that joke would land somewhere with you. A good dad joke.
Well, yeah, because I actually, help fill in the blank, which is, pretty good on my part because normally I can't come up with the punchlines. All right, Lego is unveiling an upgrade to classic building blocks, the Smart Play bricks. That's the name of them. The Smart Play bricks. They look, they looked just like regular Lego pieces, but have built-in AI chips. Is this the best use of AI chips? I mean, putting them in building blocks, the chips let the bricks interact with one another. The bricks are talking to one another.
Did you ever, you wouldn't have seen this movie because it was for kids whenever I was a kid. There was a movie that came out years ago called Small Soldiers. and it was about a company that decided to put kind of these computer chips into like a G.I. Joe.
And they kind of took over,
and
right?
they took over.
Yeah.
I mean,
remember that.
Hollywood has, between that and the Terminator, it's given us nothing but warnings about what happened.
And I have said that it's going to be the downfall of us all.
Also, there are some toys, they're as good as they're going to get.
Right.
I feel like a block, like we've reached the ceiling.
The pinnacle with
on
a block.
Blocks. Like there's really there's nowhere else to go. Like make them make different things.
Did you really need to put that into a block?
Yeah. What? No.
They make sounds. They make lights. The thing's launching in March.
Ooh, the way we're getting the rap, like, all right, guys, you're going off. You're going off the rails.
We don't listen to them.
All right, stay put. We're talking Bears, Packers as we kick off Orange Saturday in just a couple of minutes. Let's do this right now. Orange Saturday. We're taking a live look at Soldier Field, where the Bears are going to be taking on the Packers in just under 12 hours for a chance to move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. We're feeling it. We talked about this earlier, Mark Strell. I asked our producer, Gabe, who is the biggest Bears fan I know, how are you feeling? And he used the word that everyone seems to be saying.
Yes.
A little nervous.
Yeah, there's a lot
nervous this morning.
There's a lot of nervousness going on.
A lot of, which is to be fair, to be understood. What can we expect once the game kicks off at 7 o'clock, and what's going on right now?
Let's do that in the order you asked. At game time, we're going to start out just a little above freezing. We'll go through the freezing mark, and I think into the upper 20s by the end of the game, and that means we're going to see a small chance of seeing some snow showers during the game. Probably about a 35–40% chance, just some passing snow showers. Now this morning, we've got rain with snow on the backside that's sneaking into Chicago now. McHenry County seeing some snow, Lake County into parts of northern Kane County, also DeKalb County and parts of northern LaSalle County seeing a little bit of snowfall this morning. This will come down in kind of a slushy form, and with temperatures that are getting up into the middle 30s today, in some cases some upper 30s, the snowfall is not going to last long. Roadways, I think, are going to be in pretty good shape. Obviously, they will become wet, but other than that, we do have some rain and snow around this morning with some snow showers this evening. Tomorrow, we'll start out with cloudy skies in the morning, end up with sunshine at 34 degrees during the afternoon, and on Monday, well, we warm again. Temperatures up into the middle 40s. I think upper 40s on Tuesday before we come tumbling back down a little closer to reality. So the rainfall will be pushing out. There's the snowfall. This is this afternoon. This is 3:30 this afternoon. Dry conditions. But look what's upstream. A couple of more snow showers that will push through. Again, not a major event, but enough that could slide through along the lakefront as we go into the evening hours. So a little wild card in your forecast.
Well done, sir. All right, it is the oldest rivalry in pro football since 1921. It escalated a year ago when new Bears head coach Ben Johnson took a shot at Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, saying he likes to beat them twice a year. Tonight, for only the third time ever, the Bears take on the Packers in the playoffs. Here's what the Bears are saying about that wild card matchup.
This was the vision from the beginning, was to have some home playoff games. Was really excited about that opportunity and to see that come to light here this year.
Usually packing the cars up, sending everything back home to home base and getting ready for the offseason. So it feels good preparing for the postseason right now.
We had a really good season, division wins, all that other stuff, but everything is 0-0 now. We're mentally prepared to play for 5 more weeks.
We're not prepared to play the next 5 weeks. If you're thinking about anything else, thinking about booking a flight, vacations or anything, don't come in.
Going into this game and after this game, every player should be not only physically exhausted, but mentally exhausted as well.
I think I am built for these moments.
We'll go all out for this game.
All the big games the same to me. I think the mindset of it just changes a little bit because you know you don't have another game. If you go out there and you don't accomplish the goal.
We don't have anything to hold back. You know what I mean? We don't have a guarantee next week. It's really do or die.
They always chirping. It's always some talking going on somewhere. How you love football. If you got any competitive bone in your body, you love playing these type of games. The fans make it better though.
It's going to be a special atmosphere, and it almost feels like we've played these guys like 5 or 6 times here in the past month. But I think that'll just make the atmosphere and the battle that much more epic.
This city, it deserves a winner. It deserves a team that's going to be able to make this run.
I think Chicago is just a city that's deeply rooted in history, which is awesome, and it's what makes it such a special place. But that being said, we want to build our own history here.
We're all looking forward to this playoff game and try to do what we can to try to make this city proud.
You really have felt this city come alive over the course of the season. That's something that I'm grateful for. So keep a good thing going.
You don't need me to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You can watch the Packers and the Bears tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on Fox Chicago. Our coverage begins with Bears Game Day Live at 12:30. Stay with us on Fox Chicago because after the game, we got full post-game coverage on your home of the Bears. And this is very exciting. Just into our newsroom, the Associated Press has named its 2025 All-Pros, and 3 Bears players were selected. Left guard Joe Thuney, safety Kevin Byard, and where they were picked for the first team roster, and right tackle Darnell Wright was picked for the second team roster. Well done, those guys. All right, time now for our mega poll question. We want to hear from Bears fans. How many passing touchdowns will Caleb have against the Packers? Scan that QR code you see on your screen. Visit fox32chicago.com. Give us your answer. You can also use the Fox local app. Here's a look at the choices. He's going to have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe even more than 4. Most of you guys right there in the middle, about 47% of you are saying he's going to have at least 3 touchdowns. It'd be nice because you got to account for the rushing touchdowns as well. Obviously, Chicago Bears have had a successful season, but for many players, it's about finding success on and off the field. I hung out with some former players making a big difference in the community.
Bears legend, former player, Jason McKie, fullback. Now, it's so funny. I was talking with Jason earlier, and I used the term Bears legend. He said, just a fullback, just a fullback. I said, you cannot put just and fullback in the same sentence. First of all, thank you for taking the time, man. Good to see you. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Thanks for coming. You know, another great opportunity for the Bears, obviously facing the Packers on Saturday. A Saturday night game in front of a live audience. You know, the nation will be watching. Another opportunity for the Bears to get a victory and move on in the playoffs.
Talk to me about some of the lessons that you learned on that field that you're now able to pass down to the next generation.
Yeah, you know, playing football at the highest level really teaches you how to be a man, how to be a pro. You've got to make a lot of sacrifice, and that's some things that myself and my staff are trying to implement in these kids, right? To be great, you got to make a lot of sacrifices, right? And if you want to be great, you can't be average, so you can't do what's required. You got to do more than what's required. So, and that's on and off the field. And the good thing is that we have a lot of high character individuals who are good young men who happen to be good football players, and us as a staff, we're trying to implement something in their lives that they can take with them for the rest of their lives, and that's bigger than just us developing them into being good football players.
Robbie Gould joins us this morning, head football coach here at St. Viator. First of all, dude, an honor. Thank you for taking the time, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks for being here this morning. I appreciate it.
Okay, talk a little bit about so many lessons you learned over the course of your career on the field. What are some of the most important lessons that you learned that you thought it was important to kind of pass on to the next generation of players?
Yeah, when I decided that I wasn't going to play football anymore, I was kind of helping coach a little bit. I had a friend of mine ask me, do you want to get into this kind of full time? And the biggest thing for me getting into high school football is to help young kids learn the attributes that you need. If you want to go play football in college, awesome. And if not, everything that we're trying to instill in our kids is discipline, hard work, accountability. First of all, being an awesome academic person. Second, being a great human being. And then third, we can think you can be a great athlete. So to me, it's just awesome to be able to continue to develop the game in the area. But more importantly, it's fun to be around groups of kids who are truly like making a difference, not only like in our community, but just in the general community in which they live in or they're a part of. That's what I hope these kids do.
Well, we have a perfect example of someone who's doing just that. Shane, you just received Shane is maybe the most humble person I've ever met, and I told him, dude, on TV, it's not the time for humility. Brag about the award that you just received.
I just won the Arlington Heights Heart of Gold Award, which in this community is a very big honor for us.
Really quick, guys, before we go, we're getting the hard wrap. I got to ask really quick, Bears predictions.
I think it's going to be an awesome game. We got 4 unbelievable coordinators. The Packers, unfortunately, have been pretty banged up recently. If the Bears can run the football, I like the Bears winning by 2 touchdowns.
There you go.
But I do think the new rivalry with Ben and LaFleur is going to be a lot of fun to watch for years to come.
Final score?
I'm not biased, but I'm going to have to say 90-0 Bears.
That sounds, you know what? I think that's good. I think that's a good call. Mark Stroh, 90-0. What do you think? 90-0 Bears? Yeah, that tracks. Don't go anywhere. Lou Canellas, Cassie Carlson are going to break down other factors for today's Bears-Packers game. And, Mark, what do you got going on, man?
Well, we've got some clouds around, some rain, some snow. It's time for your tailgate forecast.
Dear Friday, let's put good times in gear. We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota trucks.
Right now, lease a new Tacoma SR5 for $289 a month or get 1.75% APR for 72 months on a tough new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back. 8:46. Goes without saying there are a lot of factors that could play a part in tonight's Bears-Packers game. Luke Canellis, Cassie Carlson break down on how the Bears could win tonight.
All right, thanks, Jake. Alongside Cassie Carlson, Luke Canellis with you. It's good to have you in studio.
I know, it's warm in here, especially because I'm bracing to go out into some snow and windy conditions tonight.
Well, every time we have a chance to chat during our Sunday show this morning, on Sunday, today is Saturday, but on Sundays before Bears game, you're always out in the cold, and I'm here enjoying the Jets
They
pizza.
don't bring us the Jets pizza to Soldier Field, and now that I smell it, I get why you want to stay in here. I'm smelling the cinnamon sticks right now. Those are nostalgic for me. College, used to order those late night all the time.
At the University of Illinois.
ILL.
And by the way, ask anyone, the sausage pizza is my pizza.
And I hear it's always gone before we can get to it.
Before anyone gets to it, that's why I have to take some pieces, put it in the office. I know, we're looking at it. There's the sausage pizza again.
Oh, I'm a cheese girl, too.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
All right, Jets Pizza, the MVP of game day with Detroit style. Done right, crispy, cheesy, 8-corner strong. It's not pizza, it's Jets, it's game day. And if you want a piece for tonight's game, you need to get a pizza. One large, one topping pizza for $13.99. You just have to use the code Chicago13. All right, you ready for tonight's game?
I mean, everyone better be ready for tonight's game. It's win or go home, as Ben Johnson said this week. Actually said it as soon as the Bears lost to the Lions week 18. We are preparing for this new season. We are ready to go 5 more weeks. So if you're thinking about booking a flight, vacations, don't even bother coming in. He has this team refocused into the task at hand. And as he said, they're going to lay it all out against the Packers. It's round 3, and they split the first 2 times, both coming down to the final play of the game. I think we're probably gearing up for a similar type game tonight.
It's unbelievable. Last play of the game, 8 times the Bears have gone down to this season, and they've won 6 of those games behind the play of Caleb Williams. And I really think that the key for the Bears in this game is to run the football from the start effectively behind one of, if not the best offensive line in football. They have made Caleb Williams look good. He broke the Bears' single-season passing record. They have given DeAndre Swift a new career high rushing. Kyle Monangai has come on the scene because of the play of that offensive line. I think that offensive line will be the reason why the Bears win this game.
I honestly think it's why they're here right now. And you don't want to reinvent the wheel when you come into the playoffs. Ben Johnson was asked any trickery that we should be expecting Saturday night, and he's like, playoffs all about who executes the fundamentals best. And so I think that he is making sure that he is very focused on emphasizing the details and being a disciplined team. That's kind of the motto that he's had ever since he was hired. And I think he's going to have his guys locked in that sense. The other thing on defense, knowing that this defense has given up a ton of points at times, a ton of yards at times, and a lot of explosives against Jordan Love, they're going to have to find a way to be good in the red zone and somehow get off the field on 3rd down against this Packers team, which is one of the best on 3rd down.
All right, will you do me a favor and have fun today?
Oh, I always have fun. I might be taking these. If I take these to the stadium, I'm going to be a fan favorite in the press box. So I think these are a hot commodity.
Yes, they are. Just don't touch the sausage pizza. As I told you, that's loose.
It's all yours.
All right. Reminder, coverage coming up later today. Fox 32 Chicago, your home for Bears football. 12:30, Cassie will be at Soldier Field. Tina Nguyen will be tailgating with the fans on the Waldron deck or South Lot. Jim Miller will join me here in studio. Bears Game Day Live, kickoff 7:10 right here on Fox. And immediately after the game, we'll be back with full post-game coverage. Tina, Pat the designer from ESPN Chicago, Matt Spiegel from 670 The Score. They'll all join me on set. We'll have highlights. Cassie will be inside the Bears locker room. We'll take the press conferences of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams as well. Have a good time.
Let's go Bears.
For Cassie Carlson, I'm Lou. Jake Hamilton. Back to you, and don't touch that pizza, Jake.
I'm touching it, Lou. I'm taking it. Take a look at what else is on tap for sports today. Before the Bears-Packers game, we got the Rams taking on the Panthers at 3:30. Blackhawks in Nashville playing the Predators. Puck drops at 7 p.m. And the Bulls hosting the Dallas Mavs at the United Center. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. Bears fans come together to celebrate head coach Ben Johnson by participating in a look-alike contest. Photojournalist Jacob Karb stopped by to check it out.
Such a fun, family-friendly event at the Wintrust Sports Complex in Bedford Park, our Coach Johnson Look-alike Contest. It's a free event, wonderful prizes, so much excitement surrounding our favorite football team in town. Want to do something really community-oriented, fun, family-friendly, and see who can get the most creative with their Coach Johnson look-alike for the good, better, and best prizes. Going to a game, it's really not attainable for most people these days with the prices, especially with the economy. So we wanted to see what we could do to help with that. So the winners, they could put it towards the game and create a memory that'll last a lifetime. And when you think about it, people are still dressing like Coach Ditka all these years later. So I'm thinking, all right, we're still doing that, and now we have Coach Johnson. And once Coach Johnson ripped his shirt off in the locker room in Philly on Black Friday, forget it. It was fantastic. Everyone had so much fun with that, and we were hopeful that the community would react to it. We greenlit the whole promotion 3 to 4 weeks, and here we are today.
The winner of the contest took home a $1,000 gift card. Don't go anywhere. Mark will have a final check of the weather forecast when we come back.
Fox 32.
All right, Mark Strell, here are the results of the Mega Poll question. We asked Bears fans how many passing touchdowns will Caleb Williams have against the Packers. majority of our viewers saying 3. He's going to put 21 points on the board. That's just through the air.
Yeah.
That's not
Just
rushing.
in the air, right.
You know, that's not pick sixes.
Doesn't include safeties.
I'm telling you, that kid that I talked to yesterday that said 90-0 Bears.
90-0.
I think he's on to something.
90-0. And I went 2. Now, normally I would go 3, but I said 2 because of the wind. I'm just trying to throw a little,
got a little
weather
inside
influence.
knowledge. You got a little inside.
Yeah, although I am not really sure, you know, passing how bad the wind is going to be. But, you know, field goal kicking, it's going to, you know, play a little.
Well, and also keep in mind, you know, if the receiver is just a little bit off course, the wind could blow it right in his hands.
Right.
See, this is how I'm thinking. See?
You're very positive.
See? All right. Who knows who's ready for tonight's Bears-Packers game? How about this, Mark? The Shed Aquarium.
Get out of
Shed
here.
posted this video clip on social media of when it had 4 penguins visit Soldier Field back in 2020. I remember this. Officials say the field trip served as an enrichment for animals that encourage exercise and curiosity. Yeah, if I remember right, and Gabe, our producer, wasn't this like during COVID they were letting, because everything was shut down, obviously, they were letting the animals kind of explore places that they never got to see before.
Right.
Look at that.
Yeah. Normally, yeah. Let's take our penguins.
You know, they got some decent yardage.
Yes, they did.
All right. One last check of weather. How are we looking?
All right. Well, here's your forecast tonight. Starting out with just above freezing numbers, ending up just below freezing. There is a chance, probably about a 35% chance or so, of a few snow showers, and it will be windy for tonight's game.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Fox 32 will be back with the latest news later tonight after the Bears-Packers wildcard game. I'm going to go ahead and say after the Bears win tonight. We'll see you tomorrow celebrating that win. But for now, have a great day.
100 years ago, my